Where do we begin? Better.com lays off 3,000, 4,000 more people after they said there'd be no more layoffs, and they, were doing this revamp of their entire company by hiring the outside company to come in and tell them how to be better, but they didn't end up actually following through with their name. It's hard for me to even be surprised. And when I look at all the LinkedIn posts of all these people saying, wow, I'm shocked and devastated, it's like, how? In my very first Better.com video, I said, at the end of this, if you are still working there, you should probably be looking for another job. And then after that, I don't know, probably like 2 or 3 weeks ago, all these other news sites started reporting executives were leaving as they were gearing up for another mass layoff. Here's another article. Here, just Google better layoffs from like a few weeks ago. So the layoffs were planned for March 8th, but then they were moved to March 9th because the news leaked their date. The leadership at Better.com didn't actually delay everything, because they started receiving severance checks into their payroll account. So they started waking up to emails of deposits of huge lump sums of money. And they were like, wait, what is this? Oh, wait, what? It's a severance check? And then before they knew it, they were locked out of their accounts and realizing they were fired. And then they got a company-wide email talking about that, which I'll show you in a moment here. Got laid off from Better.com today. It's shocking and devastating. This is what that looked like. She just found out that she was locked out. So now let's look at the email that Better.com sent out to the entire company. Team, we have an important and difficult announcement today, and the leadership team and I want you to hear it from us first. But they got this email after they realized they were locked out and fired. It is clear, after careful, comprehensive review, that we will need to do more to ensure a strong path forward for the company. Unfortunately, that means we must take the difficult step of streamlining our operations further and reducing our workforce in both the US and India in a substantial way. We have huge opportunities ahead to grow. I feel like that's what they said last time. Now, I found this part interesting because I've been advocating for something like this in a few of my videos, and a lot of people tell me that it doesn't make a lot of sense and that it's not feasible and blah, 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 but they say all affected employees will be contacted personally. We are doing everything possible to personally reach all employees whose jobs will be eliminated to discuss this with them first. Now, that didn't actually happen because people found out by being locked out, but if this was their intention and they didn't mess it up, that's better. Affected employees will be eligible for a minimum of 60 working days and as much as 80 working days of cash severance payments. We have made sure that this financial support for departing employees is at or beyond what is required by law. Now, let's make a note about that. If you're firing over 150 people, I believe, at the same time on the same day, you have to give them a certain amount of notice, or you have to give them a certain amount of severance. So they are noting this time, we're following the WARN Act without saying that. But if you note here at the bottom, it wasn't actually sent out by Vishal. It was sent out by Kevin. Vishal probably let Kevin be in charge of the email account, okay? Here's another employee talking about their experience of getting laid off. I was one of roughly 4,000 laid off from Better.com today. I did not find out through our payroll system my bank account showing a severance check or a phone call from HR. My computer just shut down in the middle of me responding to one of my clients. Similar to the previous layoff, I understand that Better needed to do this to survive. Come on, don't simp for the company, Amanda. Now, here is a post on LinkedIn from someone at Better.com who didn't get fired. Today, 3,000 of my colleagues, close friends, people I consider family, and those I haven't had the pleasure to work directly with were laid off from Better.com. This isn't what family does to each other. I look forward to seeing your next accomplishments and to the employer that is lucky enough to hire a Better alumni. Alumni, in my mind, is when you go do something and then you graduate and then you move on. When you get laid off, you're not graduating, but you sure are moving on. When it comes from people that still work there and people at the top that fired you and call you alumni, it makes me cringe. It just makes me cringe. Maybe it doesn't to you guys, it just cringe to me. Here's another LinkedIn post. So today I got sopranoed at my job. 1 minute I'm working, listening to Journey in the background, and the next minute the screen went black. Did I just get whacked, or did my computer have a hard restart? Turns out I got whacked. All right, now here's one from someone that makes herself out to be the example of, if I can get fired, then it can happen to anyone. And it feels really pretentious, so I want to read it to you. You wouldn't think that a senior loan officer with high performance numbers and great work ethic who's been here for 2.5 years would get laid off out of the blue. Your numbers only matter to how much it affects their profit. And if they've decided your numbers are irrelevant or don't matter to their profit, goodbye. I don't care how senior you are. It doesn't take a genius to figure this out. As much as it hurts to type this, I'm proof that if it happened to me, it can happen to anyone. Come on, there's no way you're a senior officer at that company and you don't know what's going on at the top, or even just read a little news about the company, and then I'm over here telling you and everyone else who works there, they're going to do it again and again. They don't care. I logged into my company laptop at 9 a.m. When I stepped away and came back, I suddenly found my laptop shut down. After multiple attempts to log back in, I joined my team Zoom huddle through my phone and was shocked to find out that I was confirmed on the list, something my managers did not know until now. I mean, maybe they didn't have the list of names, but all we have to do is come over here. Better.com loses more senior executives. Further redundancies loom. Why is everyone acting like this is a big surprise? You all stuck your head in the sand and said, la, 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 that won't happen to us. Sorry for those 900 people, but they told us that it won't happen again, and I'm safe now. Here's another one. After 1.5 years at Better Mortgage, surviving the pandemic, and squeaking by the first round of layoffs back in December, the time has come. I hate to say it, but I was unceremoniously laid off this morning along with 4,000 other wonderful colleagues. No call, no written confirmation at the time of posting, but a quick unannounced shutdown of my computer and deletion of my company apps from my phone has driven me to the same conclusion as many today. Here's a post from someone at Better.com who didn't get let go, but is posting about how they feel bad. Watching my colleagues and friends impacted by the layoffs for a second time in the last 4 months is truly heartbreaking. To my Better family, keep your heads up. Sending you all love and support during this difficult time. Can you do something that actually matters, though? How about that? They're probably going to keep doing this stuff and say that they're not. So it's really difficult for me to even be surprised, as I've said many times in this video. Does it surprise you guys? I'm sure every one of you that watched the first video were like, yeah, dude, I'd be looking, which is the smart thing. And you don't actually have to accept it right away, but at least you're collecting emails and getting the conversation started. Just send applications out. You don't lose anything. You don't have to take the job. It's not. What really gets me is that I know for a fact that people that work at Better.com saw my videos, and those videos got a lot of views. So like, you've had to purposely avoid this information. It just seems so. Real quick before I go, I don't normally do stuff like this. I'd like to take a moment and remind everyone of the people that have also lost their jobs and their homes and their families and everything. And I just wanted to take a moment. So having said that, I'll see you guys in the next one.